Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is a continuation of our series, Claiming Masculine and Feminine Energy. This is part of a Twin Flame series that we're teaching in our Twin Flame meditation group. And I want to just kind of recap what we've been doing and give a broad view for those who are new to the meditation. So we have been working through the chakra system, and the level we're working on is really the individual level. And the reason we're doing this in this way, what we're doing is we're approaching a really big piece of healing on the Twin Flame journey of healing the rift between masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. And so what we've done is we've taken that way up to the symbolic level of the chakra system. And the chakras do represent masculine and feminine energy. The energy that runs through alternating chakras is either masculine or feminine energy within our individual beings. And this is a little different than, or it's just entirely different than when we are in harmonious union with our twins, or what our union with our twins is like energetically. Because when we are energetically in that union, that's a whole nother energetic body in which one being, one of us is the divine feminine and one is the divine masculine. However, we absolutely cannot harmonize energetically in the union until we've healed the masculine-feminine rift within our individual bodies. And so we have decided to bring it really up to the symbolic level and talk about it as energy and deal with healing within the chakras, because that is the overarching umbrella of all energy that we're able to manipulate and deal with and heal and bring blocks to consciousness and open awareness. And in doing this, just simply by focusing one chakra at a time and healing whatever is coming up for that chakra on a symbolic level, we are healing the rift between masculine and feminine energy. And we really don't have to drill down into what is masculine energy and what is feminine energy, though we will discuss that a little bit in the Q&A of this series that will be available after we complete the series. We have this meditation today and one more, and then we'll have a Q&A, and we'll field some questions from you guys, and we'll talk a little bit about which chakras have run masculine energy and which ones run feminine. And so this is kind of where we're going, and that's a little bit of backstory. So we haven't really discussed a lot of what is feminine and what is masculine. So no problem. Like, that's not the focus. The focus is healing the rift, and we're kind of taking you there into this broader understanding. And what we want for you is for you to be able to recognize in your union yourself as a feminine energy or a masculine energy in your union. Now, in your energy body, you're both. So it's a little hard to navigate. And then we have all of the things that come with masculine and femininity that are really stereotypes and that just aren't true about what it is to be feminine or masculine. And so we really, as a culture on a planet, as the collective, we really are only just now coming to understand and for the very first time have an experience of what truly is masculine and what truly is feminine energy. And so we have to kind of transcend all the labels, and that's why we in our physical environment, we have all those signs to transcend. Like, we have masculine energy embodied in a feminine body. We have all these dynamics happening in our culture that are pointing us to transcend those labels and to really, and it isn't just transcend the labels, it's come to closer understanding of the truth. And so that's really where we want to take you. Is on that journey, and this is just one part. We know that this is a long-term journey for all of us on the planet together, and so this is just one piece that we're able to offer, and so we'll be talking about that when we close up the series and tying a bow on it and seeing how all of this was relevant to that journey. And so today we're going to begin in the brow chakra, a meditation, and I want to talk a little bit about the brow chakra. It is the chakra that provides energy to your brain. So and it's not entirely your mental function, because your mental function involves almost all the chakras. However, actually your mental body is connected to your solar plexus. So it's a little confusing if you don't know a lot about the chakra systems and the layers of the aura. But what is very specific about the brow chakra and where we kind of get hung up is that in our psychology, we make evaluations. And so I would really call the brow chakra the naming chakra. This is the aspect of ourselves that first applies a name to what we are experiencing. And so in the crown chakra, there's sort of just a void of labels. The energy that's there is just kind of your divine communion with God. And then once we bring energy from that chakra down into the brow chakra, that's when we start having sight. That was when we say things like, oh, I can see how this would work for me. I could see myself doing this. Or we make evaluations about others and judgments. And we say, that person is a bully, for example, or that person is destroying her family. We make these evaluations, and we might not always say the words, but we're constantly making evaluations, and there's no shame or guilt in that. It's just simply that we're programmed to make evaluations, and there's so much in our subconscious that is from past lives, from childhood, especially those years before 7, where there was no barrier between the conscious and the subconscious mind, and everything was just getting dumped into the subconscious as seeds for this is how the world works. And so now when we're dealing with intuition, we're either able to connect deeply with our intuition and live from that place and then bring that intuition down into the throat chakra, into choice. And so we want to connect the vision that we have and the understanding of the idea of what we're creating, what we're healing, whatever it is that we're doing, investing in. We want to have a clear understanding of what that is, even if it's somewhat abstract at this level, which it will be, so that we can bring it down and make a conscious choice. And so healing in the brow chakra the process is really all about practicing dropping evaluation and dropping names and dropping labels. And so that's what we'll be doing in the meditation today, is practicing some stillness and some silence in that place. And so we'll begin with the light body activation that we use in almost all of our meditations. This really just helps broaden the awareness and clear the energy body so that we can focus on what we're doing. And so we'll start there, and then we'll move into some visualization, and then we'll have some periods of stillness in the meditation as well. So we can go ahead and begin. I will invite you to kind of just get comfortable in your chair. We do recommend that you use the same position every time you meditate, because the physiological association of how you position your body and where you go in your consciousness are connected. And so it's this just cool little trick. If you kind of do the same thing every time, then you can be in the board meeting or in the carpool line pickup, and you can assume that position, and it's like a bookmark in your consciousness to position your body in that way where you meditate. And you can begin to just connect with that deep level of consciousness that you're achieving in your meditation. So let's begin. And we always suggest feet flat on the floor, grounded deeply, firmly, supporting your legs and the lower body weight. Tall, relaxed spine against the back of your chair. Relaxed but not slouching. Head tilted slightly back, tongue just on the roof of the mouth, just behind the 2 front teeth, barely touching there, relaxing the jaw. Eyes closed, palms flat against the tops of the thighs. And just bringing the awareness within. Just breathing. Just setting the intention at first that we're bringing the mind and the awareness within. We want to anchor that awareness into our center, the center place of rest, where the mind can just rest and take a break. So we can help navigate the mind there just by breathing into what feels like the centermost point of the abdomen. It may feel like that the bottom of the breath, that place that the breath touches innermost when you breathe in deeply. And you can use the breath this way by breathing in deeply now. And just following the breath inward with your awareness, maybe holding it there for a minute. And when you find that innermost place, exhale into that space, anchoring the mind there, anchoring the awareness within. Breathing into the center and exhaling into the center. And as we do this, we may begin to notice breathing into the center and exhaling there is a stillness and a depth. We just invite that place to open and just allow that inner light, the abundant source of core light within, to begin to flow outward. With each breathing in, the center expands and more light pours forth. And with each out breath, the center expands, allowing more crystalline light to flow into our awareness. We allow it to flow through the entire physical body, starting first in the belly, filling and saturating the belly, all the digestive organs filled with light, releasing any stagnant or fragmented energy that we sense there, releasing it into the light, this pure light that seems to transmute anything that's in our being, in our system that doesn't serve us. There's no reason to give it a name or a label. We just simply allow the wellness to flow, as it is our right to do. It is our sovereign right to call in healing, to call in our perfect well-being any moment we choose. Light pouring into the chest cavity, filling the heart, the lungs, the arteries there, flowing through the veins. All of the blood cells completely illumined, even down to the DNA in each of those cells. Filling the DNA strands with crystalline light, receiving all that we need, even on the level of our genetic programming. We receive our well-being. Allowing this light to pull and saturate the hips and flow down each leg, saturating each joint. Even the skin and the fascia between the skin and the muscles, all the bones and the tiny bones in the feet, until it flows freely and easily out of the bottom of the feet into the earth. Breathing in crystalline light, pure white light into the shoulders. And as we do so, we Feel a sense of lightness on our shoulders, as if the heavy burdens that we have been carrying are whisked away. Trusting that when we let them go and we choose that they are no longer ours to carry, we allow them to be carried by the supporting energies of our life. We give ourselves permission to simply relax and enjoy and receive this moment now. Light flowing down each arm into the hands and flowing freely out of the fingertips. Breathing in light into the head and into the skull. Radiating out the top of the head. Filling each eye, each ear, the nose, the mouth, the tongue, all of the teeth. The vertebra in the back of the neck, the throat, breathing into this space of total wellness, a total surrender. There is no greater act of surrender than to surrender the mind into stillness, to surrender the body into stillness. And when we do so, all that is needed is there. Bringing the awareness to the front of the brow. Beginning to visualize the brow chakra, the third eye chakra, spinning open, two vortices, each extending from the center of the brain outward like a bell, one to the front of the brow and one to the back, with indigo light. And as it is our sovereign right to do, we simply call in total perfection and wellness to these energy centers. We say open and balance, charge, you may want to visualize each vortex of energy spinning an indigo blue light. Very balanced, not too fast, not too slow. And see if you can connect your awareness to this aspect of your energy body. See if you can begin to open a conscious relationship between your mind and this chakra. It has many messages for you. It has much wisdom. And now beginning to drop into deeper awareness, deeper stillness and deeper presence. We drop that which keeps us, keeps the mind engaged. We drop thought, we drop names, labels. We release all expectations and ideas, thoughts of what we're going to do with our time after this. We just let everything go for just this moment. You can always pick it back up when this moment is over. So simply setting it aside. Imagining that as you let go of each thing that's holding you to the surface, each thought that's like a balloon, tethering you above the surface of your deepest consciousness, letting each one go. And as you do, you go a little deeper, perhaps beginning to visualize that this is you dropping into the ocean of your own awareness, fullness and presence with yourself. Drifting down until you find yourself seated on the ocean floor, simply being here now. And so the practice here is to release thought, to release words that come through the mind, and judgments, to release sensation. We're not reaching for anything. We're not reaching for peace or bliss or happiness or joy. We're simply letting go and experiencing the nameless now. You may find as you're practicing this stillness that the mind produces a thought. And that's okay if it does, and it will. You can visualize that you're placing that thought in a bubble and releasing it, and watch it float away up to the surface of the water, where it disappears. Instead of being angry or judgmental of the mind and its tendency to produce thought, we simply forgive. We forgive it for doing its job, even when we don't need it to do that job. Instead, as the thoughts come, we just release them. We practice in this way, letting them go rather than following them from one to the next. We let go of each thought, and as we do, we let go of a whole story, a whole made-up story. We do not try to stop the mind from producing thought. We can't do that. That would be like trying to stop the lungs from producing a breath. Breathing into the stillness of now. releasing whatever comes, practicing the art of no attachment. Whatever images come, we simply release them. Whatever thoughts come, we release them. Whatever feelings come, we release them. Breathing into our centers from this place of stillness. You may notice at this point that you have a feeling of inner sight being open. Perhaps when you bring your awareness up to your brow, you have a sense that there is some depth there in which you can somewhat see. It's not an image so much as a sense. A stillness and a depth there. Breathing into the center. Just allowing time for the experience of no mind. This is an opening and an invitation to receive inspiration, guidance, to be connected with intuition. We practice this so that we develop a relationship with our intuition and our guidance. We deepen that relationship. We allow it to come to us and through us. And we do this by being perfectly still, by creating spaces of perfect stillness in between thought. And so now let us prepare to come back to eyes open. We will do this slowly. And first, just bringing the awareness back to the breath. Maintaining the awareness of the brow chakra, the openness of the third eye, the inner sight, the sense of stillness and connection within. And yet adding awareness of breath. And adding awareness of fingertips wiggling. And now adding awareness of toes wiggling. And perhaps the legs now, and the arms, and the hips, and the back. Bringing all of the physical life into this space of awareness. Then adding visual light by blinking the eyes open ever so slightly. And when you feel ready, opening your eyes. Taking your time, you can simply take your time to come back to eyes open. And while you do that, I will say thank you for joining us here. Remind you that this practice is available anytime. And invite you to return again and again on the never-ending journey of self-awareness. Thank you. Bye.